Howdy and hello, I'm Jonah from Scott Blocks, and today, I keep saying from Scott Blocks, I'm so annoyed. Hello again, guys. Today we're back with another vlog, and today we're doing Texas urban legends. There's going to be, I believe, 4, some of them shorter, some of them longer, and we'll discuss each one after. Maybe add some commentary to them. But alright, so the first one we have today, we're going to get into it. Actually, right before we do, I have an announcement to make. I've set a subscriber goal of 25 subscribers by June 10th, which is my birthday. So if you could tell your friends, even yourself, your family, social media, whatever you want to do, please help me get to 25 subscribers by my birthday. I'll be turning 18 this year, so I'll be able to go out into the world and do even bigger vlogs than just my garage and down the road, or 30 minutes or something like that. Anyway, so we're going to get into it with number 1, the White Lady of Rio Frio, which is a little bit of a town on the Frio River, which in Spanish means the cold river. So, alright, here we go. Situated about an hour and 40 minutes situated about an hour and 40 minutes west of San Antonio, near the community of Rio Frio. I have my script here on my laptop. The Frio River harbors a ghostly tale of love, betrayal, and heartbreak. Witnesses have described a wisp of translucent fog that moves like a woman dressed in white, hence the legend's name, the White Lady of Rio Frio. As the story goes, Maria Juarez lived in the early 1900s and had an older sister who was married to a man named Gregorio. Although Maria was several years younger than her sister, I never can pronounce these names. I did this whole script, and I kept trying to pronounce it while writing the script for it, and it was terrible. Gregorio noticed her beauty. Around the same time, Maria also caught the eye of a young man named Anselmo Tobar, and the two began courting, which is dating. Gregorio took Maria aside and admitted his love for her, but she was appalled that her brother-in-law would betray her sister. She rejected him. He flew into a rage. Fearing for her life, she fled to a location where her lover had agreed to meet her. Under the haunting glow of the moonlight, Maria heard someone approach, and she thought it was Anselmo, only to find Gregorio with a pistol pointed at her heart. With one shot, he killed Maria and hid in the hay in a nearby barn. When the community came to investigate, no one had any reason to suspect Gregorio, but the dogs they brought to the crime scene picked up the scent leading to the barn. He came out with his hands up and confessed, all the while swearing his love for Maria. This dude is beat crap. Over the years, many people in the community have seen a white woman roaming in the canyon. Even the local children have seen her sitting on the beds at night. And so, the tragic story of Maria Juarez lives on the Rio Frio's ghostly tale. Could you imagine, like, being married, and then like your wife or husband's younger sister or brother or whatever, you're like, sheesh, she looks nice, I want to marry her instead. And then instead of being all like, well, that sucks, you just kill her. Like, okay, jeez. Alright, our next tale, number 2, the Lake Worth Monster. Texan folklore has also had its share of legendary creatures with a Lake Worth monster, aka the Goat Man. Coming in at the top of the list, often described as part man, part goat, with long clawed fingers and scales. The Lake Worth monster is so notorious that the Fort Worth Nature Center and Refuge, which is where the creature is said to live, which I've been to, I used to live in Fort Worth, Dallas area, Arlington, theoretically, has held a Lake Worth Monster Bash each October since 2009. Initial sightings occurred at Lake Worth in July 1969. At the time, newspaper published alleged sightings, including one in which a monster threw a car tire at a group of people. Another incident involved the creature jumping out of a tree and landing on a man's car. I don't think this creature likes people. Newspapers also published a photograph taken by Alan Plaster of the purported creature. Plaster describes the monster in his photo as a man-sized white furball. However, which contradicted other descriptions, he later said the sighting was likely a prank. In fact, over the years, numerous incidents involving high school students have been reported as suspected pranks, which is interesting. Regardless, the Lake Worth monster has remained a prominent figure in cryptozoology and local popular culture. Now, I've not been to Lake Worth, I don't think. If I did, it was very young. But I do know of that story just because I lived in Fort Worth. So, if you do come down here to Texas and you stay in Fort Worth and you go to Lake Fort Worth, then be on your guard. Now, number 3, the Lady of the White Rock Lake. One of Dallas's most well-known legends is the Lady of White Rock Lake. According to the legend, a young woman is wearing a sopping wet dress circa the 1930s era, haunts the lake, and flags down drivers to ask if they can bring her home. When drivers go to give her a ride, she suddenly disappears and leaves the seat wet. Now, in 1943, Anne Clark wrote an account, which means wrote a story, about the ghost of White Rock for the Texas Folklore Society. In Clark's account, a young couple was parked on the shore of White Rock Lake, and saw the woman coming towards them. She was dressed in a sheer white wet dress and climbed into the couple's rumble seat, giving them an address in the Oak Cliff neighborhood. When they turned around to ask for directions, the rumble seat was empty and wet. The couple continued on to the address the lady had given them, and a sad man answered the door. He said they were the third couple to show up with that story, that his daughter had drowned 3 weeks prior while sailing on White Rock Lake. Now, I wrote it like that in my script, but there's a little more to the story, but it is not for the faint of heart. What happened is that she took her own life during the sailing incident, sadly. Nobody knows why. She was a happy, healthy, lovable person, but she took her own life. Very sad. And our final story for today, and our second, if not most longest one, Snuffer's Ghost. One of the more surprising haunted locations in Texas is Snuffer's Restaurant and Bar in the lower Greenville area of Dallas. Everyone who works at Snuffer's knows the place is haunted, but the origin is a bit murky, which is like a mystery. Supposedly, a man was murdered in the original pool hall building before it was demolished in 2013 to create the restaurant. There's also a story that the site was constructed on an old children's cemetery, which is... ouch. Apparently, the man who became Snuffer's Ghost was murdered a few decades ago and fell down the stairs. His lifeless body blocked the men's restroom door, resulting in the current bathroom door creaking. Most employees have experienced unnerving encounters with this ghost, from hearing footsteps late at night to hearing their names called out when nobody's there. One customer snapped a picture with a mirror in the frame. Upon revealing the photos, saw a ghostly face in the mirror. The ghost was described as a skeleton-like appearance and wearing what appears to be a coat. Another general manager's account occurred at closing time. He saw a black silhouette over the secondary bar area and assumed it was just a bartender cleaning up after an event. But when he went to check if they were finished, he realized he was alone. Many employees come to work at Snuffer's as skeptics, only to leave as believers. I would actually go and work there just to see the ghost story. Like maybe I'd ask my boss, hey, I've been working really hard for a month. Can I do a vlog at night about the ghost? With so many haunting tales and urban legends permeating Texas folklore, consider visiting one of these locations. Oh, that's, yeah. So, again, like I said, I would love to do that. But I hope you enjoyed some of these stories. The Lake Worth Monster is probably the closest to me, just because, or, most personal to me because I lived there. So I grew up knowing that story. The Lady of White Rock is the saddest one, just because of the context. And of course, they're all sad. I mean, the ones where the murder, took her own life, and then there was 2 murders, one instance of one's own hand being used, and then a monster. But there's hundreds of other stories. We have stuff I didn't want to include. One of them I would have included was the Chupacabra, but that's not just from Texas. I wanted to do just Texas. And if you want me to do a follow-up where I do part 2 where there's more, please let me know, and I will absolutely do it. But again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed today. Shout out to the first person who watches this video. Comments and all that are super appreciated. Please do leave a comment if there's something you want me to see. If you want, like I said, to see a part 2 of this video, or if you want me to just go somewhere and do something. Leave likes because they're super appreciated. Subscribe. Speaking of subscribing, I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the video. I do not remember, but if I did, I'll say it again. I have a goal of 25 subscribers by my birthday on June 10th. So please help me get to that if you can. So thank you, and I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog or video. Have a good day or good night, and goodbye.